What's going on, guys? JSGC here, and we are here for another match analysis. This time we're going to be analysing the 3-0 Manchester City home win against Wolves. So we're going to crack on with the talking points, and we're first going to talk up about the teams. So first, Walker and Danilo ended up starting as Fabian Delph sat on the bench, which was surprising, seeing Danilo going at left back. We had the two Silvas starting, David and Bernardo. David making his 267th appearance for Manchester City in the Premier League, which is a record for us, so well done to David on that. We had De Bruyne on the bench, which was surprising. Gundogan on the bench, a very strong bench. Aguero on the bench. It's like one of the strongest benches that I've seen. For Wolves, gone with a strong side. Neves, Moutinho, Jota, Jimenez, just to name a few. Patricio in net, some good players there. And so they're going with a strong defensive unit, like we saw at Molineux, where they're going to try and hit us on the counter-attack, use set pieces to our advantage. So we need to try and null that whilst working our game. And one of the ways of doing that is getting an early goal. 11 goals we've scored now in the first 15 minutes. Boring first 10 minutes. Then Laporte all of a sudden with a defence splitting pass. An assist for an assist. Absolutely brilliant from Laporte. It leaves Leroy Sané clear. Great movement from him. One of the Wolves players was caught ball watching. Leroy Sané has enough time to look up and find a beautiful square across to Gabriel Jesus, who's there just to tap in. All round good play. It might not be a goal that'll win goal of the month, but it's a brilliant goal with some lovely eye contact and some lovely movement and some lovely attention to detail in the goal from Manchester City there. Well on the ball. Unfortunately, the same can't be said for Wolves, and that's why they've ended up conceding. We've got that much quality in our team. It's beautiful to see. 19 minutes in, we get our talking point with Boly, the guy that handballed, if you remember, at Molineux for the goal that might have been offside too, and everyone felt hard done by. Well, this time he's in the talking points again. He got sent off for a hard challenge on Bernardo Silva. Bernardo Silva rolls around a few times. He's not gone in with both feet off the ground. He hasn't done a scissoring motion. He's even won the ball. However, with the follow through from the ball, he's gone in with studs up and hit Bernardo Silva's ankle. When you do a challenge like that and you hit the player and the player takes the hit, rather than jumping out the way, you're running the risk of getting sent off. Because Bernardo Silva's been hit, I felt like that's why he's been sent off. If Bernardo Silva pulls out of the challenge or isn't hurt as much, I feel like maybe a yellow card might have been given. It's a harsh one. It's an aggressive challenge. I'm not too sure why Boly's gone in so aggressive on the challenge, but he did. He's given the referee an excuse to send him off, and he has been sent off. I've seen people comparing it to Vincent Kompany's challenge on Salah. If you remember, Salah had to pull out of the challenge. He doesn't take as much of a hit. If Salah takes the hit, then Vincent Kompany, I reckon, would have been sent off. But because he hasn't, it's seen as a dangerous motion. I'm not too sure whether intense enough there to be sent off or not, but Boly's gone straight in on Bernardo Silva's ankle, and that's why he's been sent off. It's one of those, if City had been sent off for it, I wouldn't have been happy. I'd be moaning at the referee, but I'd certainly be criticising the player too for giving a referee an excuse to send him off with such a reckless challenge when it's just completely unnecessary. Then, talking of unnecessary and aggressive, Gabriel Jesus tries to score another tap-in. This time, he ends up colliding with the post and getting a nasty injury on his head. It doesn't go off, though, and so I'm just wondering, he might be checked over for concussion or anything. I'm just wondering, he's in great goal-scoring form. I'd start him against Huddersfield. I'm wondering if he has picked up any kind of injury. He seemed to have hurt his neck, he was saying in the post-match press conference, but if anything's connected to his head, he might not be starting against Huddersfield, because you are meant to have, like, a week off for them kind of things, just to make sure everything's all clear. Then Wolves, they had a chance from the off, a shot that looked like it might have been a cross that ended up going out for a throw and was pretty strange, but their best chance came via Johnny, I think it was, that had a shot. It was low. I'm not too sure if it was a hard pass or whether it was a shot. It looked like a play shot that was a bad shot, in my opinion, and it's placed across, and Jimenez goes sliding, and if there's less power on this pass, then Jimenez taps it in for 1-1. However, there's too much power on it, and so it ends up staying at 1-0. And in the end, Manchester City, I felt like, needed that killer second. We'd come unstuck in games in December, like the match at Crystal Palace, went 1-0 ahead, like the match in Leicester away, we went 1-0 ahead. Like the match in the League Cup even against Leicester away as well, went 1-0 ahead. We couldn't get that killer second just to kill the game off. And so I felt like if we could get that killer second, they're down to 10 men, that'll certainly kill this game, and then we could start looking at maybe going from there. And just before half-time, it came via a penalty. We'll talk about the penalty incident first. Bennett goes in on Sterling. Sterling beats him for pace, gets in front of him. Patricio comes running out. I'm not too sure if Patricio would have got there first and intercepted it, but it was completely unnecessary for Bennett to stick out a leg to bring Raheem Sterling down. It's weak, but he's given the referee an excuse to give a penalty, like Boly gave the referee an excuse to send him off. It was completely unnecessary. Shooting themselves in the foot, it's strange. Some strange decision-making from Wolves at times. They're making a couple of mistakes and Man City were punishing them. Penalty gets given. Jesus slots away after Patricio dives one way. He waits for him to commit one way, and Jesus just puts it the other way. Nice and comfortable and 2-0 up with them down to 10 men. Now, in terms of the penalty, it is weak. People criticise Raheem Sterling all the time for going down for things like that. However, over the last few weeks or so, Mo Salah started doing the same for Liverpool. They started winning penalties, and in my opinion, this isn't the time to be all fair play and all fair with everything and stay on your feet and everything. If they're doing it, we can do it too, and that's how I see it from my point of view. If you can't beat them, join them, and so we're doing the same, and we're picking up wins too. It works. Half time though, 2-0, Wolves down to 10 men. Got them where we want them. Just need that one more goal to completely kill this game off. Not too sure why Boly was so aggressive. I'm not too sure why Bennett was making the decisions that he was, but a couple of big mistakes from Wolves ended up costing them dear in this game. I don't think it'd have been enough for Wolves to have got anything from this game, even if they'd stayed with 11 men and they hadn't had that penalty committed. I don't think Wolves would have got anything from the game anyway. I felt like we had too much about us. I felt like we were completely on top of this game. We were dominating this game. After all, we was already 1-0 ahead before anything of them incidents had even happened. Wolves would have probably created a couple more chances, but even when they were coming forward, I never felt like I was in too much danger that we was going to concede. I always feel like when we do concede, it's because we're making mistakes rather than teams forcing mistakes from us. I've only really, off the top of my memory over the last few weeks, I can think of Liverpool that's managed to force mistakes from our defence in being able to get the goals. Otherwise, it's ended up just being pot-luck shots, or just simple mistakes where we're just not doing the proper jobs of basic defending. So I wanted Wolves to go and earn their goal, and so I was confident enough that we had enough about us to keep a clean sheet in this game. In terms of City, I thought Danilo and Walker looked very rusty in the first half. They looked a lot better in the second half, getting back into the swing of Premier League football, in my opinion. So, yeah, that's a bit of a confidence boost for both of them players, I thought. And I would have substituted Fernandinho at some point in this game, just purely because he was sitting on a yellow card. I was concerned that Wolves might target him to try and get him sent off, because they've had a player sent off, and after all, Fernandinho influential in how Manchester City play. In the second half, Wolves weren't making anywhere near as many mistakes. There was a lot tighter second half, a lot more defensive, sitting a lot deeper, but it was working. There was getting Adama involved, who came on in the second half. He had a lot of pace about him. He was making things happen. Perhaps I should have gone from that from the off. Lessons learnt from them, perhaps. For going on into the second half, Ederson decided to come out because he was bored, intercepts play, a heavy touch, takes it to the Wolves player. He intercepts him, then exchanges a few passes near the halfway line. He has your heart racing at times, Ederson does, but I won't change him for the world. Certainly makes things a lot more interesting. If you are going to do that at 2-0 up around the 75th minute or whenever it was. And then from there, City ended up getting the killer third corner. Gundogan passes to De Bruyne. De Bruyne waits and waits and waits, then does his typical drilled-in balls that he likes to do. How many times have we seen De Bruyne manage to completely miss players and score from opportunities like this? This time, Conor Coady manages to get his leg onto it, ends up going into the back of the net. There's too much power and pace on the ball. It was unlucky from Conor Coady. He's been given an own goal to Coady, but I thought it was very harsh. De Bruyne wanted to claim the goal, and I certainly don't think Coady deserved from his performance in this game to have an own goal to his name. Like I said, I don't think Wolves played badly in this game. I thought they defended well. They just made a couple of mistakes, and because you're playing us at a time when we're feeling extra clinical from mistakes, we've punished that. But there we go. Finished 3-0 Manchester City. It's decent. 4 points behind Liverpool. We've got a couple of goal difference on them. I would perhaps like to have seen us maybe push on for 4 or 5. We didn't really take out... We didn't take our foot off the gas. It's just Wolves were defending very well in that second half. That wasn't able to force the 4th or 5th goal. Rotherham and Burton weren't able to do that, but Wolves learning the lessons from them games, which is why we put out a strong team against Rotherham and Burton, beat them heavily, so Wolves shows more respect, which is what they did. It keeps the score down, and so from there, they was able to keep it at a respectable 3-0, because it would have been very easy for Wolves' head to have dropped, but they didn't, so fair credit to that one. Now for Manchester City, we've got a match against Huddersfield away on Sunday. Liverpool play first, again. Again. Big test mentally this for us, but Liverpool's got a match at home at Anfield. They're going up against Crystal Palace. A difficult game for them. Crystal Palace, we've seen that they've beaten us already at the Etihad Stadium, so it'll be interesting to see if they can do anything at Anfield. I'm not expecting Crystal Palace to do anything or get anything from the match. I'd be happy if Crystal Palace keep the score down. Anything 3-0 or less, I'd be happy with, because it then means if we beat Huddersfield, we've still got goal difference on Liverpool, and I think this title could well come down to goal difference. It could be similar to the 2011-12 season, where we won it on goal difference from Manchester United, if you remember. And so goal difference could be key, so it would be nice to get a couple of big wins. We've got some very difficult fixtures though, so we'll just take it a game at a time for now. Now for Wolves, sitting in mid-table, they're looking to try and get 7th place, a Europa League finish. That would be a great season for them. They're needing more consistency against teams around them and teams sitting towards the bottom of the table. Your season isn't going to be defined against teams in the top 6. Wolves have done incredibly well against teams in the top 6 this season. However, the season isn't going to be defined on that. It ain't going to be defined on what they've done at the Etihad Stadium against Manchester City either. So for them, they've still got a lot of confidence, there's a lot of games to go. I think there's still 16 games left of the season. Anything can happen, literally anything can happen. But for this game, I'm happy with the result. I don't think anything would have changed if we didn't have that penalty or if Wolves didn't go down to 10 men. I still think we'd have won the game. I still think we had complete domination on this game and we'd have dominated the game anyway. So we're going to check the stats now to see if what I'm saying matches up with what the stats say. So possession, 76% possession for City, 24% for Wolves. Wolves with just 3 shots, disappointing, no on target. Edison literally had no saves to make. Worst it got for him was going forward trying to make some tackles. 24 shots for City, 9 on target. 3 of them have gone away. I'll take that every day of the week. 869 passes, 92% pass completion rate. That is excellent. 281 from Wolves at a 67 pass completion rate. It's very difficult against Manchester City. It's difficult because our high line it pushes you back and back, and so it's hard to keep the ball and play the ball around. You're running the risk of losing the ball in very dangerous areas. For City, only 2 clear-cut chances created. Shows you how deep Wolves were sitting in this game. They did a very good job. Wolves only put 2 balls into the box. They'd be disappointed with that. City put 32 balls in, only 5 of them connecting. They need to stop with all these crosses and everything. We've not got tall players. At one time, I think it was Sterling got a header in past Wolves' big defence. But the balls, when they're putting crosses in, have to be pinpoint accurate. They have to be extremely accurate. And so it's dangerous when you're putting balls in that Wolves are just going to clear the lines when we're creating chances. I'm not too sure why we're putting loads of balls in the box, but there we go. We had more dribbles, 12 corners to Wolves 1. We made more recoveries. Wolves had more tackles, City made more interceptions, Wolves had more blocks, more clearances like you'd expect, more aerial, same amount of aerial duels. City again winning in aerial duels. I think City are working on their aerial dueling in training. We seem to win every single match. It surprises me in the defensive stats that we always seem to dominate in that one, even against physical teams. Wolves are a physical team, so it surprises me. Like I said, no saves for our keeper, 7 saves for Patricio, 1 yellow card to their none, 1 red card for them from that Boly aggressive challenge. City committed 6 fouls to their 3. So not an overly aggressive game, it's just Wolves I felt like had more physical presence about them. But there we go, that's been the analysis. Jesus man of the match. A brace and surely starts on Sunday if he's fit and able to. Sane brilliant. Laporte excellent with his assist for an assist. Danilo and Walker looked a lot better second half. Wolves looked decent when defending deeper in the second half. They looked better when they put Adama on and going forward with pace. But I'm happy. I'm happy that we've picked up 3 points. I'm happy that we've put pressure onto Liverpool again, and we go again at the weekend. It's very tiring stuff, all this Premier League malarkey, but there we go. Hopefully more of the same on Sunday too, please, and hopefully we might be able to make some gains on Liverpool. If not making gains on them points tally, try and make some gains on them with the goal difference and try and put them under pressure. We can win every single game from now to the end of the season. I'm confident 101 points will be enough for us to sit on top of the table come the last game of the season in May. So there we go, that's been the video. Hope you enjoyed the video. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Don't forget to leave a big thumbs up if you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to subscribe, put your push notifications on, press the bell to put your notifications on, and also don't forget, you can check out my social media links, my Twitter and Instagram in the description below. If you want to go and follow me on that, you can, and I'll see you all again for the next Manchester City video, which will be up tomorrow. So I'll see you then. So it's been JSGC. Hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. Peace. Ciao for now.